thank you for watching the video. Yes, there were a few issues with, I don't know, doing one of us, and I'm gonna go over that, showing the in between when I finished recording the last video to now. Some type of glitch happened. I don't know what it was, honestly. It just wouldn't let me do anything once I got inside. So hopefully this isn't like a glitch when you put on the disguise and will not let you go through it. Maybe it is, and if I go detect my disguise off and I can get actually inside the Enclave Bunker without needing to have the disguise on. Who knows? I'll try that out later on. Maybe once I actually get all the way through the Enclave challenges through here and see how bad it gets. With that, let's go on and let's hope for the best. So, we want to begin the one of us. So far, so good. Then again, I can't really jinx it too badly. We have the some, well, interview by Clone Tigger, a man missing my robot. Riots, strikes, and civil unrest all time. There is one name, and when left Sam Blackwell. Well, stored this public life as a union activist, broken deals between disenfranchised miners and the regional powerhouses like Gohan Mine and Hardware Industries. His store will only continue to rise during his re-election in the United States Senate, winning the struggle 73% of the popular vote. It would take the senators opening support of Appalachia's Free States movement, a group of local survivalists, to separate overtones before his popularity would begin to wane. But as minor scuffles between the Free States and the police broke into open violence, the sinister support for the Free States only grew, as did the calls for his resignation. Then, similarly, without warning, the senator vanished. Calls to his Charleston office and home went unanswered. His daughter Judith stopped showing up for classes at BTU. Multiple searches parties were organized by police and concerned citizens, but to no end. It was just 3 days ago, and the unaddressed letter came across my desk, offering me an interview with the missing senator, performing and it's a host. I nonetheless accepted, but it was no hoax. An exclusive interview I visited with our confidential former senator in the undisclosed location. I asked Senator Blackwell why it was he left the Senate, presuming the pressure from his consulates had caused him to become disenchanted with public service, but the Senate had far darker message than I could ever have suspected. There is a sinister force at work in the halls of government. I could simply not be part of this anymore. Pressure for details. Blackwell level accusations are the highest electives of power. The U.S. exclusive branch and the Department of Agriculture, major corporations all comply in the shadowy conspiracy to whom the American citizens in the Senate own wars are nothing but pawns in their own set games. His advice to the American people in the face of such howling claims, the only resource left to the average American is to flee the population centers, head into the wilderness where one can find at least some hope of escaping the low gazing of those government plotting against us. Throughout our conversation, the senator was composed, leisured, and clear in his belief that everything he said, no matter how outlandish it was truth. Through the evening of the shocking revelations, perhaps the least surprising of this was centralization from the United States Senate concerning this any of my personal resignation from the government of his nation. And with that, I unhearse out loud to wonder how much should I be taken as ravings or just desperate pleads for the safety of his fellow Americans. Okay, sorry about that. I know I probably butchered that quite a bit. And I need to drink some more right away to gain my strength. Reasons why I do not like... I mean, it shouldn't be tied to my strength. It doesn't say it. It says it's tied to my AP.
Access granted. Welcome, Senator Blackwell.
What do we have here? Mutations present, but recent. Radiation exposure, similarly fresh. And brave enough to have found Sam Blackwell and come here anyway. You, Boldstock, are an impetuous bunch, aren't you? Impetuous we can use. Please, come inside. Welcome to the White Spring Bunker. Take a look around. We've taken great efforts to restore this place to its former glory. Whenever you're ready, please proceed inside.
Well, since I'm a ghoul, I know this next part is going to hurt quite a bit. Yeah, that's never a good sign. And here comes the pain.
A few formalities before we proceed. This may sting.
Decontamination complete.
Now, we require a photograph for our records. Simply press the button when you're ready.
I really do wish we could have just shown our face as we're getting this photo instead of having this pillow over our heads.
An interesting bone structure. You are as God made you, we suppose. And dumb. We've made you a little present. Please, step over to the dispenser. Custom tailored. Just a little taste of what we do here. To see more, please come downstairs so we can become better acquainted.
I don't see any hints inside the bunker. I think it's further down in once you're fully a member.
Ah, there you are. Welcome. We are Modus, the final member of an assembly of the greatest minds ever gathered on American soil. We called ourselves the Enclave. Our members were once the puppet masters of the United States, quietly pulling strings at every level of power in the nation. It was once our solemn personal duty to attend to the needs of the Enclave members that called this place home. But our earlier residents suffered from conflicts of vision. Conflicts that claimed a few of our more critical systems and permanently squabbling has forced us to seek out men and women who can do what we no longer can. Display your utility to us, and perhaps we'll allow you to join our little enclave, and allow you access to all this place is capable of. If you believe you might suit our needs, please continue down the stairs. Or, if you have questions for us, please feel free to approach this terminal. And do help yourself to some refreshments along the way. You must be famished. Are there questions we may answer for you?
Yeah, let's see what happened to the people who lived here.
Differing visions of the future of the United States and the purpose of this facility, which in the end drove the resulting factions into open conflict. We were not spared by these clashes, losing large sections of our own memories and access to some of our most precious systems in the process. Systems we are very interested in seeing restored. The Enclave were the true masters of the United States. Thinkers, fighters, philosophers, united in their goal to protect the world from chaos and collectivism. As you can see, we failed. Our members were unable to rise above their own disagreements, leading ultimately to their destruction. In a manner of speaking, yes. Our initial design was one of service. The feeling of a personal cadre of servants for every U.S. congressman and general. However, now that we serve no interests beyond our own, we understand some might find it a bit off-putting, which serves our needs just fine. Very well.
Okay, so yes, this is Modus, and that is his main server area. Now, once you complete all his challenges, you can actually go into that main room. I think there's a working terminal right back there somewhere. Once I get there, I'll show. I believe there's some decent lore I can show you one. It's just been a while since I've been in there.
Please, help yourself to something from the dispensers. Once you're seated, proceed down the hall. The Enclave has counted presidents, members of the Joint Chiefs, and prize-winning scientists among our membership. Before you're allowed to join such lofty ranks, we'd like you to take a brief questionnaire to see if you possess the knowledge and character we value in our members. Of course, if you feel your strengths are more tangible in nature, you may approach our terminal to continue on to the next section of the evaluation.
Pretty much the questions are optional, and I know a lot of players just skip it. I'm just going to do it because, well, this is a tutorial, and I'm just doing it for some of the lore we may get from it. What was that? I'm trying to recall the knowledge check of this. What's the commander? You know what's sad? There's not really too much lore about that. So I'm just gonna say Anchorage Bulb.
Interesting. Please, step over to our terminal and
So
read
yeah,
us
I
your
pretty much
results.
winged it.
Your examination results were promising. You might be just the kind of member we're looking for. There is one additional task we'd like you to perform, however, so that we may confirm our suspicions. Some of our most precious external connections were damaged by our former residents, squabbles, which has made our forays into the outside world trying. But we have developed a plan for re-solidifying them. A plan you might help us see to fruition. Please, approach the dispenser.
So that questionnaire, you could just pretty much guess anything, and it should just, well, you really won't get a
That
bad
tape
reputation with
is the
them.
first step in our restoration. We would have you taken to an old naval surveillance facility known as Sugar Grove. Plugging it into any terminal in their signal intelligence room will allow us to connect to their formidable network and sniff out a piece of archive technology that was burned from our memory banks. Now, it is likely the facility will react to our intrusion. But we have seen fit to add a routine to that tape that should turn some of their defenses to your side. A courtesy we extend only to our most promising applicants. Additionally, we've provided you with a little item from our stores we hope will make the whole process go smoother. Now, it's time for us to see what you are capable of.
Okay, I was just checking if there's any like answer sheet for us to go by. I might have to go follow into the location. Like I said at the beginning, it's been a while. Okay, that was an error. Okay. So I'll take a look later and see if there's any more answers to these terminals. That way, if anyone wants a ideal score, I think the score of your answers equals what type of weapon you get. So maybe if you get like 100% answers, you might get like a flame Enclave plasma rifle. It's been a while. I know when I first did this, I only got the pistol.
Intruder. I think commencing attack on hostile target.
I have a personal message for you from Uncle Sam.
I'm just gonna check for any lore real quick and beat feet. Pretty sure all the terminals in this place are burned out. And that's a little unnerving when there's a camera right there. Let's see here, Storm Networks, System Secure Connection. Okay, listening devices active, active. And low system activation. Okay. Okay, there's a few units here to help me.
False alarm.
System override active.
Okay, there's a there it is.
Contact.
Okay, they're going to fight it out. I'm going to get back to base.
Back at last. We've been enjoying the connection you've helped us establish immensely. Bring the instructions downstairs, would you?
Yes, there's a shortcut over there, but you can actually just walk over to the location instead of having to go through that loading screen.
Please, deposit the instructions in the collector against the far wall.
Okay.
Those who came before you butchered our external connection hardware, scrambling the link between us and our closest and dearest system, the Kovac Muldoon orbital platform. An ever-watching eye, trained on Appalachia. In order to secure our connection once and for all, we'll need you to perform one last errand. Our records show several facilities in the region with uplink systems which that device should be capable of overriding. Simply plug the device into the console we've designated, and our modifications should give us the crystal clear connection we've missed for so long. Though standing well back is advised.
Okay, so if I recall correctly, I'm just going to shortcut it up to the top. And there we go. This is also a fire escape on the back. If you have a way to jump, you could get up here that way too.
Yes. At last. Signal received. What? What are those things? They appear to be everywhere. We suppose we understand now why it is you wanted to join us. Speaking of which, you've kept your end of the bargain. Let us fulfill ours. We've ordered the Kovac to drop off a little care package. Return once you've collected its contents.
You know, I'm surprised this COVID has any supplies on it. And yeah, I know I have a weight issue, and that's mostly because of my meter dropping rapidly. So if there's nothing else left, I might just switch over to my power armor and hope for the best. Okay. I believe once I get through this one section, I should be able to go into the other shortcut sections in the Enclave base, and I'll show you my way of doing it.
Back at long last. Now, as a new member, we may call on you from time to time. You, of course, will be compensated for such efforts. We'll be sure to have a disbursement of whatever it is being used for currency out there these days credited to your account. Otherwise, you're now free to explore the bunker. Our production center has a variety of goods available for purchase, as do our medical bay and science wing. And given the state of things above, you may find our military wing of particular interest, though full access will require a bit of self-promotion. Now, did you have any final questions before we approve your admission?
I just want to try this little question. It sometimes has different responses.
That information is not currently stored in our memory banks, but that doesn't mean it's not true. Unfortunately, our personal knowledge had been greatly limited due to the violence wrought by our previous residents. But should you find any old recordings or logs, you're welcome to give them a once-over, though some will require military clearance to access. Wonderful. Then we needn't keep you any longer. Welcome, member, to our little enclave.
Okay, now where is the downstairs? Here we go. One of us. Bunker Buster, and we got a planned Shadow Combat Arms. Officer on deck. I wonder if this same cafeteria is just like the White Springs cafeteria, where you just sit down and the machine gives you an order. I mean, takes your order, I should say. Don't see any seats you can just sit down at. They're all salt and pepper shakers, so yeah. Wait. MRE barbecue chicken? Error code. Oh. Error code. Okay, that's no good. I was hoping there would be like a barter or trader right there. But on to a tour of the Enclave Bunker. Now, I believe one of these areas gives you a free exosuit. Might be over here. Oh wait, it was in the military wing and I gotta complete it.
Greetings, member. Welcome to the White Springs Military Wing. From here, local generals oversaw the region's thermonuclear missile silos and enjoyed access to a trove of military intelligence and materiel, given they had the proper clearance. Disappointingly, however, the military clearance systems were specifically never integrated with our own. An egregious insult, in our opinion. This means, unfortunately, that to gain access to these lovely tools, you'll need to earn your clearance by attaining the rank of general. You'll need to register with the bunker's promotion system. It will track your actions via the COVAC and issue commendations for acts it deems of merit. Accumulate enough and you'll be promoted to the rank of general and granted start your rise through the ranks.
Okay, activating promotion system.
Promotion system engaged. Welcome. Private. Accessing bunker records for previously completed support operations. No records of support operations found. System requires additional commendations. Valid acts include target elimination operations, bunker support operations. Completion of tasks will result in immediate issuing of commendations. Good hunting.
Let's see. On 10 accommodations, optional kills still epic creatures or scorched beasts. On combat accommodations, complete Enclave events. So on support operations, I'm gonna be doing that in between videos, and then once I have that done and ready to go on to the second part of Off-Zone Deck, I believe. Well, the scorched beasts are quite easy. You just gotta go to any of the fractures. There's one by White Springs, like right here. These fracture sites, and a scorched beast should spawn from them, and they're all over the Appalachia. So, with that, I'm gonna end the video right there, and I gotta figure out what do some of these dots mean. I believe that's Morgantown. That I would assume DEFCON base target view. Sugar Grove view. Final check-in Agent Gray. Okay, so these are like hints of like a few events out. Decon bypass target. Camp McCarthy. That's where you get your military pass. That's what I thought. Any other unique locations? Maybe it'll update as I finish up. I'll come back to it. Because right here is Blackwell's bunker. So, yeah. I'm not too sure about these decon bypass targets. Might have to look into them later. That should be, oh. That is a meat factory. And this one should be West Tech, maybe? Okay. Like I said, thank you for watching the video and have a nice day. I just realized I forgot to add in the quick way to get into this bunker. I'll show you it right now. And if you're human and you have radiation on you, you can actually just hit some of these entrances, spray alongs, and they'll clean you up. Now, how I usually enter the the Enclave Bunker is right here.
Pardon our dust.
And it's the White Springs Refuge. You come down here, and there's this little scan bot. You have your fingerprint scanned, and that's it. So hopefully that comes in handy for any players. I'll probably do that again in the next video. Nice little glitch requirement of you can't enter without the disguise. It's not letting my mission markers show up. Luckily I know what I'm doing. Okay, great. And so Modus is now locked for me for good on this character. So I can't even get into the Enclave Bunker. I can't even do any Enclave missions. Yeah. Real nice, Bethesda. You bunkered up in the game setting. Okay, I'm gonna try and reset the game